If you caught your partner sexting, would you consider it cheating? Would it break the trust? Why or why not? Of course it is cheating, just a matter of time for it to manifest itself in real life. Anything you have big enough to hide is cheating. IMO. The act itself makes you feel shit enough, but it's the total disrespect and breaking of trust that really hurts the most. I think in any relationship you need to individually work to set the boundaries of what constitutes cheating, but this would definitely break the trust. I would be devastated if my so was sexting someone else. We don't even sext. It would definitely be a deal breaker. I would argue that any behavior that makes your partner feel cheated on constitutes cheating. I know that sounds general and abusable, but I would argue it can only be abused if you don't push your boundaries. So let's say you enjoy porn but your partner views that as cheating. You can either find a new partner who is more comfortable with it, or you can stop watching porn. That's easier said than done in some circumstances. But that's the essence of a relationship anyway. On the flip side, if your partner is totally fine with you sexting other people so long as it doesn't lead to anything more, then that would not be cheating. Look at the word cheating and think of any game. Like Monopoly for example. If you're cheating, you're going against a set of rules. Some people have house rules that go against the written rules. And those are the implied rules. Although they should be stated at the beginning of each game, it doesn't always happen. But if you landed on free parking 3 times, and the next person that lands on it gets $500 from the bank, you can claim that's cheating. But if the implied house rules are you get $500 from free parking, some people might be inclined to agree one way and others the other way. In a relationship, the implied rules normally are based on monogamy, trust, faithfulness. But let's say your significant other is an Instagram model who normally interacts with her followers. You may want to discuss the house rules of your relationship or know to what extent that person interacts with her followers. If she does something that crosses the line, but is normal for her, or her line of work, interests, or hobbies, and you failed to discuss it at any point, you may be at fault for failing to do so sooner and have no right to complain. It's like signing paperwork without reading the fine print. At which point though, you should discuss it and come to some kind of understanding or house rules. But if you're in a seemingly commonly normal relationship, and nothing prompts this person to do such actions other than their own selfish desires, then yes, it goes against the implied rules of a relationship and is therefore a breach of trust, and considered cheating. Officiating that you're now in a monogamous, exclusive relationship would then be comparable to going to a Monopoly convention. Their rules would be the set rules, and if you tried to argue your implied house rules there, you would be wrong. So if you catch your partner sexting someone and an argument ensues, and the side has arguments such as "I don't even know him in person, nothing has ever really happened between us, this is how I normally talk to people, it's a long-time friend and we always do this, he's like 2,000 miles away, there's not even a chance something could really happen, it doesn't matter because they're in the big league so to speak, and there are rules, and they are breaking them, and breaking the rules equals cheating." The only thing that I consider to be an implied, unspoken house rule that applies to any relationship I'm in is that pornography use is fine, as that is something that most reasonable people find to be okay. But if I was in a relationship where it might not be okay, I would discuss it. If I had to hide it, that would be cheating. Cheating doesn't equal sex. Cheating is betrayal of your partner's trust, loyalty, emotions, feelings, etc. Sex is a byproduct. The best test, if you would find your partner do that, you would like that. Probably not. Don't do what you don't want your so would do to you. If you don't want your partner to know about your interactions, then it's probably cheating. Of course that's cheating, because I trust them not to share intimacy with others. Yes. Sharing intimacy is what makes it cheating. It's the same reason why if your partner is in some stage production play and the script calls for them to kiss another actor, it's not cheating, there's no intimacy. You can have a physical act that would be otherwise cheating, but if there's zero intimate intent, it cannot be cheating. But even the exchange of a few words over text is cheating if there's intimate intent. Perhaps I was not clear enough. I was more trying to point out that things that might not seem like actual cheating can still be cheating, such as texting, because of the intent behind it, the desire to share the type of intimacy meant for a partner, in whatever form that might take, from full-on sex to simply being overly close and sharing deep emotional moments with someone not your partner, can all be considered cheating even if there is no physical aspect. The physical act is really just the manifestation of the real cheating, which is the emotional state or intent. The intent to share intimacy with someone not your partner, and that is why I don't think my previous example does permit using prostitutes for purely casual sex. Because in those cases you are still intending to share intimacy, perhaps only physical intimacy but still intimacy, with another. But my example of being in a stage production only shows the intent to perform a play that happens to contain pretend intimacy. Intimacy can take many forms. Emotional intimacy, physical intimacy, sharing parts of one's life that are very important to them with another, even shared hobbies if they are really important to that person. Cheating is when you pick another human being to share that with instead of your partner. It can be any of those forms, all of them, or a mixture of them, or more. Cheating is basically sharing something or doing something with another person not your partner when it's something that should be shared with your partner and not anyone else. If you're getting down to making a checklist or looking at a rubric to decide whether or not something is cheating and justify it, it probably is. I would even add to counter my own example. Let's say you're a college male in theater and you have a girlfriend who is not in theater. If you're in a production that causes you to kiss a female co-star, that's not cheating. But let's say you have a very close female friend who is also in theater and the both of you make a point to audition for roles where you're playing romantic partners, which often involve pretending to be intimate. Well, that might not be strictly speaking cheating. It is a hell of a precursor for it, and the non-theater girlfriend in this case would be entirely justified in wanting her boyfriend to step back from that sort of thing. Same if the roles were reversed. When you decide to be in a monogamous relationship with another person, you owe it to them to think of them first in all things, just as they owe it to you to think of you first in all things. That's the point of a relationship, to support, encourage, build up, and help each other and make the two of you together more than the sum of the parts. When you encounter a situation or a need or desire you have, and you seek first to have it fulfilled by another person and not them, you are cheating on them. If it's not something they are willing or able to fulfill for you, you need to decide as a couple whether it's something you are willing to give up for their sake, or whether it would be best if you parted way and you sought out another partner who was more compatible. The act of trying to stay with them, but seek out other people to fulfill your needs or desire, is the act of cheating, and that can take any form, whether it be having sex with someone else, or simply telling another person all about your day and how you really feel about it while just telling your partner oh it was fine, and anything in between. Caught my wife sexting 5 years ago, packed all of her stuff and kicked her out. A few weeks later she tells me she is pregnant and that I am the only one she had sex with. 5 years later I'm raising my son and arguing with her just about every day. There is not a lot I've been able to put into the relationship since that. Sounds like emotional cheating to me, and it's hard not to physically cheat when your mind is already moving in that direction. Yes, it counts as cheating. Reminds me of my ex. She was cheating on me and her excuse was, "But babe, it's not like we had sex. I just gave him a blowjob." Those words are embedded forever now. ITT. The answer everyone already knew, but I'm guessing Op didn't want to hear. It's got sex in it. Of course it's cheating. What if I'm sharing a sextant with someone? The desire to even do that with other people instead of me shows me that you aren't committing to the relationship. I once had a girlfriend tell me she hooked up with another girl and that it didn't count because it was a girl. She said I was free to hook up with as many guys as I want. But I'm not bi, so you can imagine the very weird spot this put me in. Broke up with her right then and there. Yes. And yes, for obvious reasons. Is this seriously even a question? If you don't consider that cheating, then you seriously need to up your relationship standards. For everybody talking about the poly relationships, I'm completely fine with those. The original question states that you caught your partner cheating, which I assume means that they were doing it behind your back. Variations of this question come up all the time, and the answer is the same. Cheating is violating the bounds of a relationship. There is no hard and fast rule beyond that. Some couples would consider flirting cheating. Some couples would not consider having sex with other people cheating. There is no right or wrong answer to this question, and it's something that each couple should navigate on their own. People also really should have this conversation with their partner and make sure that boundaries are clearly defined, and not left to unspoken assumptions that may be different between them. Whatever babe, you know what? I'll ask Reddit. And maybe you'll chill the out. If you wouldn't do it sitting next to them, you shouldn't do it. That's how you know there is something wrong with what you are doing.